Hey you guys, it's Eb here, and it's been a while since I've actually recorded a video for my website. Yes, I know I recorded stuff on Facebook Live and Periscope and stuff like that in Snapchat, but I haven't recorded like a video in a long time, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna record a video today. I'm gonna set up my lights and I'm gonna record. I took the vacation, I planned the vacation at a time that I was feeling very overwhelmed. I was working on very huge goals in my business, and I was just working nonstop, right? And so my husband asked me, he says, when do you feel like, when and where do you want to go? Because he at the time needed a break too. Now this was just a couple of months ago. And I said, you know what? I want to go somewhere outdoorsy. I need to go somewhere where I can renew and I can unwind. So if you wanted to title this video, you can call this Vacation Ideas to Renew and to Rewind, Rewind, whatever you want to call it. So we went, anyway, so he searched around the internet and he found these tree houses in an area of South Carolina on the Edisto River. And when he showed me he showed me the website. The website didn't look that great. I do websites, so I was kind of like, yeah, the website's kind of whack. Is this thing legit? Well, anyway, there's these tree houses on the Edisto River in South Carolina that you can canoe to. It's like I think it's like a 10-mile canoe trip or something like that. It takes like 4 or 5 hours canoeing to get to the river. Excuse me, not to the river, to the tree house. And so that was going to be the vacation. We were going to stay there at night. I got really excited. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be canoeing. I'm going to be outside. Anyway, so we took this vacation in June. We both needed a break. Yes, I work from home. I put my out of office on. I was like, I'm out. So part of our vacation was going to be going to canoeing on this trip, staying in these tree houses, which the website looked a little whack, but the pictures actually made me excited about it because it was something I've never done before. And I did tell him I wanted to be in nature because something about being in nature around the trees is really, it slows everything down for me. So anyway, so we drove up to, I think, an area called Georgetown or whatever, near the Edisto River. It's like off of 95. I'll post the link below. You can check out the link. And anyway, we got there, and it was basically, we booked the trip through a company called Carolina Heritage Outfitters, I believe, right? That was the name of the company. Super nice people. They're like, yeah, I don't know how else to say it. They were super nice. I mean, they were really nice. Anyway, so before you can do this canoe trip, 10 miles, they want you to practice on the canoe. So I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Sunscreen, block on. We get in the canoe. I get in with the instructor. I can't remember her name, but she was nice. And I was, she was like, paddle it, this way and that way. And I'm doing it like, yes. And I'm thinking I got it. And she's like, okay, yeah, Philip, you try it. And so he's paddling and paddling. And so he said, okay, well, why don't you both try it together? So then me and him, I get in the front, he's in the back because he's steering. It was a 2-person canoe. And we doing the thing, we're canoeing and practicing, like we're going out a little bit and coming back. And I'm feeling like a boss, like I got this. Well, y'all, we go load up the truck. And she said, they tell us they don't feel comfortable with us in the canoe because they're nervous that we may not make it or that we might tip over. Y'all, I was like bummed. Totally bummed. Anywho, but here's what they did do. They said, okay, the river's kind of high. We're kind of nervous and we want your guys to be safe. And I'm like, I was going to be safe. But anywho, they drove us up to a spot. It was like a little swamp area. And they said, okay, you guys can kind of frolic, paddle around here. So, you know, I was kind of upset because I didn't get to, you know, my adventure, and I just had this whole Instagram and Snapchat thing planned. But anyway, I didn't get a chance to do that. So, fine. After, you know, copping an ebony attitude or whatever, I decided, you know, we got into the canoe in the swamp area, which you'll see in the footage. We got in the canoe in the little swamp area. They told us there was a gator nearby, and I was like, Lord have mercy, Jesus, I hope I don't see no gators up in here. Anyway, we got in the water, and we paddled out from this little swamp area. Well, first, my husband did it because I didn't want to do it because I was mad. But anyway, he did it, and then he canoed out. He came back in, and he was like, honey, it is beautiful. Pass this way. Now, you guys, if you had seen the pictures, and I will post some footage, it looked a little scary for me. Y'all, I was raised in Brooklyn. I'm a Southern girl. I was born in North Carolina, but I was raised in Brooklyn. So when I saw this swamp thing and they said gators, I was like, oh, no. But anywho, okay, so he came back and he was like, stop tripping, get in the canoe, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. So we get in the canoe and we kind of go out a little bit. And I was like, oh, this is, you know, this is nice with the thing. And like, all right, this is nice. And then we went out a ways, about 15 minutes, and then came back. It was really nice. And so that was a little bit of our canoe. So anyway, then the guide came, the owners of the place came and got us and dropped us off at our treehouse. Now, originally, we're supposed to canoe out to the treehouse, but they didn't feel like it was safe, which is fine. I totally respect them. They gave us a gift certificate to come back for a day trip, so it's cool. Anyway, we get to the spot where the treehouse is, y'all. Y'all, the treehouse was it was awesome. It was awesome. But okay, before I get into about the treehouse, I had this hat on the whole time. This fancy hat. Yes, it protected me like totally from the sun. Like, look how big this is. It cut like to my shoulder. So could you imagine? Lesson, if you are out on the water, y'all get y'all wide brim hat. Now it looks a little fancy, but it's a wicker hat. So I can do this to look, you know, to see or whatever by the sea. But for the most part, it provided a ton of protection. Anywho, that's why I have the hat on. Tell y'all get a wide brim hat. Anyway, he took us to the tree house. I don't want to take this too long. He took us to our tree house, and then I was almost like, all right, all is forgiven. The treehouse was so nice. It was like a mini apartment. And where it sat, I think it was like 10 feet up or whatever. It was in a tree. It was a house. We had to walk up steps to get to it. There was an area where there's where the lake, where the river kind of came in. If we had our canoe, we would probably bring the canoe up on that. But that's where we could swim. It had a hammock there. In the treehouse, of course, there was no electricity. There was no running water, which I was cool with and stuff like that. But it was so nice and serene. They dropped these steps. Nice little picnic table. Philip, say hello.
Hello.
They gave us a little propane grill?
Yeah.
Power grill. It's a tree. I don't know how far we are off the ground. The view is nice. Let's go up into the house. Took my shoes off. The view, pretty nice. Please remove your shoes. Go inside. Treehouse. A table to sit. Little lantern when it's dark. Screen dim. Futon. I have games. We'll go upstairs in a minute. This is the cooking area. Propane powered stove. Come complete with pots. They even leave like little cleaning supplies for us. That's cool. a bucket so we can get water from the river, bug spray, emergency kit. Now let's go upstairs to, I guess, a mini, I would call this a mini loft. This is where the bed is that you would sleep. Up here, let's see. You can look outside and see everything. Oh, that's nice. This is the view from up here and downstairs. They dropped us off and they said, you know, we'll get you guys tomorrow. Now, with no running water and no electricity and stuff like that, what you want to talk about being off the grid, sort of, like I could barely post to my Snapchat. I know, it was supposed to be vacation, right? But you want to snap stuff, right? Anywho, but it was so beautiful. And there's something about seeing the river just kind of flow. So once we kind of got settled with our stuff, you know, we had our backpacks, we had our cooler, our water and stuff like that. I laid on the hammock and just like totally chilled out. And after I kind of looked around, because they did say it was going to be snakes, so I kind of like looked, you know, just checking. Girl, child, I got into that hammock and I just kind of said, you know what? Vacate, Ebony. Just like chill out, relax. He got on his hammock. He had a hammock from his Kern pack, I think he purchased or whatever, and he put his on a tree and just by the river. And y'all, I slept for 2 hours. Now, I slept for 2 hours. It was the most peaceful sleep I had in a long time. Now, I'm not saying where I live is loud, but when you're by the water and you're in nature and it's something, you hear the crickets, you hear the birds, you hear everything out there. It is very calming. Oh, it was so calming. I went out here a week after I saw Roots, and I was thinking, I was thinking a number of things. But anyway, they had a scene in Roots when they were in Africa and how beautiful it looked. And I don't know, I just kept thinking about that, like, you know, history and being in nature and how I feel like that's how we're supposed to be. We're not supposed to be around like big tall buildings and everything just so developed. I think that's how we're supposed to be. It's because when you go back to nature and you look at God's creation, you do feel calm. It's like, it's very calming. And I'm telling you, those 2 hours I slept. So anyway, we got up after our little nap. We played some games. They had games in the treehouse. We brought cards. I have to show you one of the nice things I liked about going away to this treehouse, and I'm going to recommend Carolina Heritage Outfitters. Before you go, make sure you know how to canoe, because those people will tell you you can't canoe if they don't feel safe with you canoe it. I'm just saying, I should have canoed lessons before going to the place. Because that's like the highlight of the trip. The highlight of the trip is being able to canoe to your spot. And then you're supposed to canoe back to where the depot place is. Like that's all a part of the experience. But we didn't get all of that, but we did get a wonderful experience in the treehouse, which was wonderful. We got some food that we got from a camping pack that we purchased, and so we had a lot of things that like handy on the go stuff that we could eat, you know, popping like pumpkin seeds and all that stuff. Now the treehouse came outfitted. There was no electricity, so our stove was like a propane stove, and then they had a grill, which was a gas grill, of course. And so one of the things that I noticed in the welcome message that they gave us, that was in the room, it was like a little apartment. They basically said, you know, respect the place, like leave what you find, but take away the memories. So, you know, you don't want to come out there and like throw your trash and put everything. No, you're going to pick up behind yourself, because you start to realize that, you know, this is an ecosystem where, is that right? This is an ecosystem where these animals, this is a reserve where these animals live, and you want to protect that space. So which got me thinking. And so I got my journal out the next morning, and I just, all of a sudden, now that I'm rested, I start writing, ideas for my blog. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna blog again. It was just something about being out there and just being around things in natural order that actually calmed the overwhelm that I was feeling with regards as to work, because sometimes we just go, 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 and we don't take any breaks. So if you're considering a vacation and you want to do something that's going to totally relax you, unwind you, and actually spark your creative juices, I would recommend going to stay at this place, the Carolina Heritage Outfitters, and really allowing yourself to be still. I think that's what it was. Looking at the water just flow. I thought to myself, you know what? Any problem that I had, you know what? Things, just let things flow. That's how life is supposed to be sometimes. Everything doesn't necessarily have to be planned all the time, but it's okay sometimes to slow down and to take a break. So anyway, that was the first part of the trip. The second part of the trip, we went down to Charleston at the beach, and it's something about being on the beach and being by water is relaxing again. If you've ever been to Charleston, you got to go to Folly Beach and look at the birds and be off the pier. It is just, I don't want to say magnificent, that's probably a stretch, a stretch, but it's just something about laying on the beach on your towel. Well, it was hot, I'll get out, but laying on the beach on your towel and just listening to the waves come in and go out, come in and go out. Yeah, there's things out there, people were talking about sharks at other beaches and stuff like that. Thankfully, I didn't go out that far to see these things, but just being able to pause and take a break. So I don't know if your summer is just beginning, or if you haven't planned any vacation, or if you're living in South Carolina, or you're living in an area where you can drive an hour or two out, or go to your local parks and just take a walk, even if it's daily. But with stuff going on, if we don't get, we're stuck in the screen all the time, especially depending on the work we do, it can just get to be like this, right? So anyway, get outside. Try Carolina Heritage Outfitters if you're nearby, or if you're far, which I thought was cool. It was on like the South Carolina Discovery website, so that did make me kind of like trust it with the tree houses. But they do a wonderful job of keeping those places up. So our guides were very, very nice. I'm definitely looking forward to going back for my day trip. So anyway, that is my video blog for today. You guys, of course, as usual, I'm gonna try to blog more. I think that's what I'm going to do. Try to blog a little bit more. So anyway, where have you been on vacation that was totally relaxing that you like to share in the comments below? If you have a YouTube channel, feel free to include the link and tell me about your vacation. Hey, I might go. I'm looking to do something different. By the way, no, because you're probably wondering this. No, I did not put on any makeup the whole time. It was too hot. I was outside. But what I did do was slather up some sunscreen. So that is what I did. So anywho, other question. There's no electricity in running water. What did I do? Y'all, I washed, I bathed in the river. I don't know. I've never done anything like that. And it was amazing and it was wonderful. And yes, I used biodegradable soap. It was natural soap, okay? And I felt clean and I was fine and I loved it. Oh, I loved it. And I'm looking forward to doing it again. So I know those are questions you were thinking about. I know. Like, how did you clean? Where did you go to the bathroom? We went to the bathroom in the outhouse that they had. Now, listen, honestly, they called it an outhouse, y'all, but it was just a nice porta potty. It was a nice porta potty, like with wood. It was a wooden porta potty, but they called it an outhouse because they add to the ambiance. But I was just like, oh, this is a porta potty. But it was a nice porta potty. So I don't know. I called it, maybe it was like glamping. Maybe what we did was glamping and we stayed in a treehouse with no electricity and all as well. But totally relaxed after that and looking forward to going again. So anyway, until the next vlog, bye. Oh, don't forget to go to makemeovereb.com for more makeover ideas for what you can do with vacation, your business, your beauty, your career, your life. Bye.